The beautiful thing about ice sculptures is that it's almost like a living work of art. As the artist, you'll always know your feelings, your emotions when you look at your own art. It's definitely a lost art. I don't think people look at ice sculpting and art the way I do. For me, ice sculpting is living in the moment. And it's such a temporal thing because I know that, it's gonna be gone. It really forces people to be in the moment, and I think a lot of times we overlook that. I start off with a design. I'll hand sketch it, and I actually etch onto the ice. It's kind of like a blueprint or a map. My first tool is I'll use a chainsaw. It blocks out the design for me. It takes off as many big chunks as possible. And then from there, I start to get into, the much finer details. It's definitely a subtractive process. You're basically breaking that design out from the block. I actually chose to carve a phoenix, and I think that relates very closely to my career as an ice sculptor. I kind of had to take the long road to come back to fall in love with the art again. My dad taught me when I was really young, and then before I even knew it, I was working for him. I really wanted something for myself. So I actually moved to California to study something completely different, which was 3D animation. I never escaped the ice sculpting. It was always, just there. The phoenix is a mythological creature that actually dies and is reborn again. Ice sculpting really had to die for me in order for me to really appreciate it. The toughest part is understanding how the ice melts. It's got to be up, for at least 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes I actually will make my designs look a little awkward at first. As it melts, all of those rougher areas are really getting finessed by the melting process because you really can't capture that with power tools. I started implementing a lot of movement into it. Still using older tools while implementing a newer philosophy to designing. I don't think that there are ice carvers out there that choose to do ice sculpting just because they like it. You really have to love it. It kicks your butt. It's not forgiving. At the end of a carving, I feel really accomplished. Just because I know that I did my best and my work's going to be appreciated by other people. But I know it's really only for myself. Ice sculpting is an expression of yourself at that moment in time.